I don't know what you want to hear anymore. I mean, like, the guy is giving you the most bullish take on why to build on Solana.
The whole narrative of gaming is here, gaming is gone, I think that comes and goes pretty often in the space that we work in. I think if you just focus on the product and kind of shut out the noise, you will end up being, pretty okay more often than not. One popular thing that games like to do is they can issue a drip campaign to attract Solana native users. And these are free collectible NFTs that they can claim. But once they claim it, it means something of value in the games. So there's one really good game that is we're excited to unveil maybe in May.
God, yeah. We're live here at the Solana Creator House, and I was like, hey, I need to make sure that I bring down the man behind the business development, the man behind the partnerships at Solana Games, because I need to find out why people are all buzzing about right now on the timeline. Whoa, gaming on Solana. What are these guys doing right now? What's happening? There's these games right now that are raising $130 million, and here I am trying to figure out, gaming is dead, though. Gaming, all these creators are saying, the cabals are saying, gaming is dead. I said, you know what? Let me bring him down. Jerry Lee, the guy behind BD at Solana Gaming. Jerry, 20 seconds. Tell me what you were doing before Web3.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for the kind intro. I do BD at Solana Foundation for Games. For a couple other things, I work with Tiffany, Kaling, a great team, along with Jorge as well. Before Solana Gaming, I worked in management consulting. So very TradFi, consulted at Deloitte, and the main client I worked for was Epic Games. So we did a bunch of work with Unreal Engine. And so my background is really in software strategy, graphics technology, and all the use cases you can do with gaming tech, which even now was super innovative.
I feel a lot better now that you've given me that background. I just saw you gaming, and I was like, maybe gaming isn't his strong suit. Because, I mean, you got like 4 or 5 kills really quickly, and then it just said that you lost, and I was like...
Yeah, I went on Kyle. So if anyone's playing with Kyle Wilson, you should know that I was on his account, and I did a very hot 0-5 in Yen Heroes. So.
Yeah. So I was like, now that you said consulting, you're like helping games, but I'm glad you told me more about that, because I did get a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh man. But hey, Jerry, I love to hear the resume. I love to hear your background. I think it's always very, very important that somebody at your position knows exactly what they're done before, so that there's credibility to when you talk to games and say, hey, this is something I've been doing for quite some time. I have years under my experience, so that a game or a game developer that talks to you says, I know I'm talking to somebody that understands me, that gets what I want to do, that understands where I'm trying to accomplish. Because I think right now in Web3 gaming, in an emerging market, it's very, very much important to say, hey, I understand your problems. I want to help you solve your problems. Exactly what we're doing here at Solana. Tell me, 2025, we're here. Gaming is dead, apparently, on the timelines. What's your sentiment about Web3 gaming?
I think the sentiment is very much, let's stay sensible about this. The whole narrative of gaming is here, gaming is gone. I think that comes and goes pretty often in the space that we work in. I think the most excited I am are those. I'm most excited for teams that heads down build despite whatever narrative, whether people scream bull or bear. I think if you just focus on the product and kind of shut out the noise, you will end up being, pretty okay more often than not. So kind of just staying the course, doubling down on some of the really cool titles that we have in the Solana ecosystem, making sure those teams stay successful and stay building.
I don't know if you hear this. Let me translate it for you in case you didn't understand. He's basically saying, unfollow anybody that's saying Web3 gaming is dead. Follow the right people. Follow the people that are encouraging and telling you about the right games that are live. And get into Solana Games, because Solana's got some of the coolest, dopest games currently live.
I actually push back on that. I think you should follow people who say Web3 gaming is dead too. And I think it's very important to have
the equal balance?
No, to keep your information diet, very objective. Everyone here is an echo chamber. And so the more different opinions you might have, you might agree with them, you might disagree, kind of find out a little bit more about why they think different, why they think the beliefs that they believe in, and then come to your own conclusions. But I very much I follow a ton of things, and I don't agree with everything I see, but it's really useful for forming my own POV on things.
I love it. I love it. He's already consulting me. You hear that? He's already telling me how I should analyze it. I need to have a healthy balance. Apparently, I'm too diet, right? I'm too lean. I need to be more.
You're the marketing guy. Yeah. That's you gotta have conviction like that.
All right, all right. Jerry, it's 2025. We're here in San Francisco. It's GDC. Solana's here. Solana is at GDC having breakout summits, having these game developer summits. Now we're also here at a creator house where we featured over, I don't even know how many guests already that have been building on Solana to tell their story. Tell me, what is Solana looking at gaming right now? How does gaming come into the narrative in 2025 at Solana?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'll tell you a little bit more about our goals for GDC this year. So this content creator house, working with you has been awesome. This is mostly to showcase that we do care a lot about the gaming sector here on Solana. We have really quality teams, and we want to showcase them, like the cool things they are building. We also sponsored a developer summit at GDC Expo. That was to essentially grow the pie. So this is focused on Web3 audiences. That one's focused on Web2 audiences. We want to bring in, if at the end of that, a whole day long worth, like 9 sessions of programming, Star Atlas, Portals, Beamable, Magic Block, teams building all across the stack on Solana. The goal of that is if we could even bring 25 new game developers into our ecosystem, what would be the outcomes of that 6 to 12 months? Will these be new games? Will they join existing games teams? Will they help build out the next releases of the games that are here, or will they build out their own unique spin or unique games going forward? And so that was a very developer-focused approach. This is the marketing one. And so we kind of flex and we focus our efforts based on the different priorities that we want to drive.
I love it. I love it. Look, I think that, for very much time, there has been a need for what's happening now, right? But I also believe it's all about timing. It's all about making sure you know when to flex, right? Because, for a long time, games were just not ready. And we're starting to enter that phase where games are finally ready. Play tests are happening. Early access is happening. Literally what we've been building for several years. And it's really exciting to be able to say now, this gaming on Solana is here. There's a narrative from the Web 2. We're approaching Web 3. It's a holistic view. It's not just one-sided. You're looking at, hey, how do you fill the pie together? Where do you see what's next? Do you want to explore more conferences? Do you want to explore Web 2 conferences, Web 3? Do you believe that maybe it's time to say, hey, we should go all around the world and explore, or should we just, hey, this was a good case study. Let's make sure we prepare next year for this one again, because maybe we have enough data here to say, this year, next year, how do you make it bigger, better? How do you make more inflow? Maybe we do get the 6 to 25 game developers. Is there anything on your roadmap that you're also looking at?
As relates to events and in real life stuff.
Yeah, in real events.
Yeah, so Gamescom has always been on our radar to do something cool there, to do something big. The really tough part is not only are we kind of in a quieter market on the Web3 side of things, everyone also knows the overall games market is also very down. And so the really good thing about that is a lot of the noise has filtered out. So the signal to noise ratio is very high. Valuations have come down too. And so the teams that are here, right, we can take big bets on them because they're no longer tourists that are around. I don't know if it's the right time to go all in on events just yet, right? When the market is in a better position, maybe that's kind of the better timing. But as of right now, we always have to look at what's the appropriate and responsible uses of the resources we have in developing the ecosystem. And I don't know, if we find out, we make the case that okay, market's back, Gamescom is it. We will be able to showcase these 2-3 games and kind of make a really big comeback for Web3 games. And
did you say I have to make the case study?
No, you can make it.
I was just about to say, man, this guy just put the workload, he just put the pressure on. And I was like, oh man, I'm starting to sweat already. I don't know if it's hot in the room, but
it is pretty hot in the room. I'm starting to sweat. I don't know. I'm anyone can make the case. And if we see the signs that it's coming back around, then for sure, let's go for it. And these things could, shift so quickly.
Totally. Jerry, what's one thing now on the roadmap right now that you've been seeing in Web3 gaming that you're really excited about? Is there infrastructure? Is it a game? Is it a new way games are approaching economies, tokens, NFTs? Is it a way that you're seeing the game experience being enhanced? And what is it that you're kind of like seeing that's out of the box or new that you're like, man, this is really cool. How do I tell the rest of my friends?
Yeah, I'd say like I think I'm gonna obviously show Solana here, but I think something Solana's really good for is um, this thing. We like to push games to do two things. One is they can have their player base on Solana, they can have it on Arbitrum, Avalanche, some EVM chain, wherever, and that's your player base. These users behave differently. They play the game. You can also have an IP base, right? And this can be people who enjoy the art that your game makes, or enjoy the comics, the animations, or the films that your IP puts out. And I think if you want that long tail form of how do I monetize the rest of the IP that I have besides just the actual game, so I think Solana is really great data. Solana's really great home with that. And one data point that I'll bring in is Drip House, right? It's the largest consumer creator platform on Solana. And so, one popular thing that games like to do is they can issue a drip campaign to attract Solana native users. And these are free collectible NFTs that they can claim. But once they claim it, it means something of value in the game. So they take this NFT or whatever they claimed and it becomes an asset or something valuable inside the actual game. And what we've really seen is like there's like a 70 to 80% conversion rate between people who claim the thing in drip and then end up going into the game and using what they claim. And so, more avenues like that where you can kind of build out distinct user bases separate from just the player base. I think that's something we're super excited about and something Solana would be really good for.
I mean, I don't know what kind of alpha you want. I don't know what you want to hear anymore. I mean, like the guy is giving you the most bullish take on why to build on Solana, why to work with Solana, why game developers should be looking at Solana. That's the kind of things that I'm excited for. I love the take. I love the understanding. I believe, I think you've heard me say this. I don't believe in walls within chains, right? I think that we all should work together in many ways because essentially the player base is the player base. I don't think they should decide what technology it is. Now, I think the game developer gets to have that ability to showcase the speed, whatever it is within the game that makes that game experience more immersive in what they want to build. So that's a really awesome understanding of how you're looking at it as well. Jerry, BD, Solana Games, tell me one thing. You were going into I said graduation year before, right? The pivotal year, the end of 2025. Do you have a game circled that you're really kind of looking at within the ecosystem? Or are there several games?
Are you asking me to choose a favorite child in the entire ecosystem? Okay, there's one, to be fair, I'll say a couple.
I'll say this to defend you for a second.
Sure.
I don't think that choosing a favorite child is an issue. I mean, that favorite child could be the genre of game that you like. It's not always, right? I just learned that shooter games are not your maybe genre based on your score. So maybe it's strategy games or maybe it's puzzles, but
So there's one really good game that is we're excited to unveil maybe in May.
God, the alpha.
Man, I can't really say much, but you'll recognize the team. You'll recognize many of the aspects of it. It's a very legendary talent that we've brought into the ecosystem. Of the existing titles right now, have to shout out Low Life Forms. Their TGE is actually today, but that's not financial advice. Big fan of what they're building, and it's actually one of the few shooter games that I actually do pretty well in. So maybe I'm a little
I heard there was nobody else playing in the game. It was just against
all bots. Yeah.
And so that's why you were doing well.
I think Tariq was being nice to me, trying to get me to like the game. But there really are a couple. I think Star Alice is really coming along. Like I'm impressed each time I look at that game and see kind of the attention to detail that team has put into literally everything.
Yeah.
Photo Finish, super great game because like it's proving out like you don't need a huge player base to build a successful game. Like it's one of the most successful revenue generating titles on Solana, and their player base is not as large as most people would think it is. I'm sure I'm missing a ton right now, but
oh, don't worry, they're going to be sending you a DM after this to say, hey, how come you didn't mention me?
Yeah, my DMs are open for your guys' complaints, but one thing I've continually come to appreciate about ecosystem is just there's so many good games building here that like it, and they're all getting better and better each day. That like it's I'm excited for what comes next.
Yeah, just like imagine if we were able to do like a campaign, I don't know, where we play a different game on Solana for like 30 days,
Yeah,
like a whole month of just games.
That's a really good idea. We should I don't know, do you know a marketing agency we could get in touch with?
I have a couple connections. After this, maybe you hit me up in my DM.
Okay.
And then I'll provide more information. Maybe you'll something worth learning and exploring, and you never know.
Yeah, because the current guys aren't doing a great job, so we gotta look for something.
Hey guys, here's the alpha you wanted, the information you wanted. What else do you want? Jerry, you're here at GDC. Is there a specific outside event that you're also looking at outside of the GDC convention?
At an SF?
Yeah.
I mean, down across the bay is NVIDIA's GTC. Solana puts out an AI summit the weekend before and basically showcasing a lot of the cool AI work that we're doing. And it's something I'm really excited about because I think a leading market position and strength in AI kind of benefits all sectors, right? Gaming, science, DeFi. So continuing to invest in the developer tooling that's available for AI, I think it's just going to pay dividends to all the other verticals. So that's an area that's we're focusing on a lot. If you're building in the intersection of AI and gaming, the intersection of AI x anything, right? Like I think Solana is the place to be, just with all the network effects going on and the focus we've put in AI.
All right, Jerry, $1 million question now. Ready? Outside of GDC, you're here in San Francisco. Is there anything that Jerry wants to go explore? Golden Gate Bridge, In-N-Out Burger, Tony's Pizza, maybe even Alcatraz, right?
Yeah. Great question. So there's this I'm Chinese, and there's this Peking duck pizza that I've heard really great things about. I'm a little skeptical, but I have to try it. I've yet to try it. So hopefully get the chance before I leave tomorrow to grab a slice.
Just so you know, I'm actually free after this interview. So
I'm actually all of a sudden something came up.
all right, fine. Hey, at least I tried, right? That's all I could do is I could try. Maybe I gotta hit somebody else up on the team. Maybe they want to take me out to dinner. But hey, appreciate once again, Jerry. I love your take. I appreciate everything you guys are doing at Solana. It's really, really cool, exciting. The buzz, the words, the DMs, the messages I've gotten about everything that's happened in the past month. Everybody is once again re-energized about gaming on Solana. Everybody's talking about it, and I'm really, really excited to see what the future will hold. Last final comments, Jerry. What do you want to tell the people? How do they want to reach out to you? Why should they reach out to you?
You should not reach out to them. Just kidding. I think one last comment. I am very grateful for the really great work your team has done. It's helped us. I think
I'll send you 20 after that for the comment.
10 would be good. I think it's no secret that the more tactical hand-to-hand combat when it comes to marketing has kind of been a gap for Solana, and it's a frustration that has been felt across many of our games. And it's unfair because these are very good teams building that do deserve to get their stories heard and the exposure that you guys are bringing. So, so far, man, it's been great. Just this setup, hearing great feedback from all of our teams, they feel appreciated and loved. And so, especially as we enter a quieter market, kind of cultivating that culture and the vibes for which people are able to say, I want to build in Solana because it's fun, because there's these great things going on. I think retention is going to be a big focus for us moving forward too.
Love it. Jerry, you want to give the people your Twitter account to turn on notifications on, see what kind of alpha you build drop in there, and maybe this mystery game that in May you might release, we might want to have our notification on for.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, my Twitter is super underloved. I need to get better about that, but it's _Jerry, Jerry, last name is Lee, Li.
All right, there you go, guys. Another episode here at the Creator House. But before I go, I think he's saying he needs to go have some pizza. Jerry, I gotta give you the Stay Liquid official cup of the Creator House. Now, not only do you have to stay liquid in the market, you got to stay liquid in real life. You got to hydrate well. If you're going to have that pizza, I need to make sure you're using the right water to hydrate for the stay liquid. So that is the official cup. Thanks to Solana. Thanks to everybody that's watching. Again, another episode here at the Creator House. And we'll see you soon. Maybe we'll do this at Gamescom. Maybe we don't. He said it. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, I'm just a messenger. Until the next time.